Hello my friends and welcome to this text guide video where I'm gonna go through the holes in a quick session, explaining a bit how I'm thinking, showing you here on the screen, also giving you the opportunity to download the text guides yourself for the upcoming touchdown tournament. So you can find the link in the description text here on this video. Otherwise you can find the text guides on Golf Clash Notebook, on Reddit, and on all the different groups and forums on Facebook. First of all, a big shout out to Golf Clash Notebook, which is a big place for excellent content when it comes to tournament guides and regular tour play. So, I think it's time to start. We start with hole number 1. Here you can see two lines, and I do try to separate all the holes with two lines because I do feel there is at least two ways to play a hole, especially if there is a par 4 or a par 5. The black line comes to if we do have side wind or we do have headwind. Then I do want us to bounce over the bunker, put ourselves up for a long iron shot. I do feel that this approach for our second shot for with a long iron or short iron, depending on how far we bounce, is dunkable. So I mean that you could go for the dunk, giving you the opportunity to get it in the hole directly, using the back of the green to get the ball to fall back down. Otherwise, use the green in the back to fall down and be close to the pin. You can also go directly to the pin if you would like to do that as well. So there is many ways to approach the green at least. The white line comes to if we do have tailwind. If we do have tailwind, then I will go for it. I will try to go as far as possible. Sure, if I do get into the bunker on top, then I will be sad, but I will still have a short sandwich chip for the green. Otherwise, with tailwind, if we're not having massive tailwind, we will be able to reach over the bunker, and that is the thing that we do want. Even though if we reach over the bunker with a lot of tailwind, we will use the fairway as it is uphill in the end to fall back down to not let us roll into the rough on top. For this hole, this is one of the easiest hole in the whole tournament, and I think it's good to start with an easy one to just get the confidence back up, and also that relies on you hitting an eagle or two on this one in the tournament to be able to win your bracket. You can practice this hole if you're playing rookie on tour 3 and pro and expert on tour 8. My preferred club for this one is backbone for rookie. Pro and expert is Saturn and Goliath. If you're going to dunk, I would say Saturn. Otherwise Goliath. Masters, Saturn and Goliath, and also the same thing from for that one. And when it comes to the ball, I do prefer you having wind resistance on this one. I do see you putting out a Santa ball or something like that, especially if we do get sidewind or headwind for our drive. So this was hole number 1. Then we're going to go to hole number 2 directly. This is a par 3, and I do see this one be played in one way actually. And so I will just say the black line. Use your long iron if you're playing from the front tee. If you're playing from the second tee, you're most going to play with your wood club if you're not having a lot of tailwind. From Masters tee, you will be playing with your wood club or the driver if you, in that case, are having tailwind or headwind or sidewind, of course. You can go directly onto the green using the backspin that you have. You can also bounce between the bunkers in the front. Use 3 bars in backspin if you're playing with your long iron. If you're using your wood club, I do suggest 3 bars in backspin if you want to bounce in between the bunkers. If you do want to go directly onto the green, use the Guardian or the Sniper with a lot of backspin. So this was hole number 2, and you can practice this one as well on tour 3 for rookie, tour 8 for pro and expert. Preferred clubs is backbone for rookie, pro and expert is backbone and sniper, depending on if you are going to play with long iron or with club masters, it's sniper or the guardian. But if we do have massive headwind, then the driver would be the rocket for me. Okay, then we're going to go to hole number 3. Here you can see hole number 3. This is also an old one. It's occur hills, and all the holes are old ones because we have played all these ones in the same tournament back in the days. So here you can see 3 lines actually, and that maybe looks a bit messy, and I will try to explain as good as possible. First of all, if we do get anything else than tailwind, put yourself up as close as possible on the front fairway. Be aware of not going into the bunker or into the rough, because you will not be able to reach to the green in 2 if you're not having a massive amount of tailwind. For the second shot, and here is where the lines became a bit messy, because you can play this one in a bit in different ways. Main approach, if you are not reaching over the rough, use 4 in topspin, bouncing it before the rough up on the green. Use side spin combined with some curl to just straighten the ball out towards the pin. Be aware of the bunker on the left. You can also use the blue line, which is if you're reaching over the rough, you can curl it around using half a bar to 1 bar in topspin and let that one go directly to the green and give yourself the albatross. Also, if you're having tailwind with your drive, there you can see the white line. You make your drive, bouncing it over the bunker and putting yourself on the second fairway for an easier approach to making the albatross. But the white line only comes in if you're having tailwind. Otherwise, I wouldn't try to go over. Again, you can practice these holes on Tour 3 for Rookie, and Pro and Expert, it's a Tour 8. So, hole number 4, we do have just one line, and this is a hole where we have been playing the golden shot on, so we are familiar with this hole. This is definitely a hole where we will see many hole-in-ones in both Rookie, Pro, and Expert, and also Masters. And so you bounce it before the bunker there on top, using 0 backspin and 0 topspin if you're playing in Rookie with your long iron. If you're playing from the second tee, playing in Pro and Expert, use 2 to 3 bars in backspin, 2 bars if you're having headwind, 3 bars if you're having tailwind. So in Masters, I don't have the correct spin adjustment at the moment, but it works the same way. You bounce it over the bunker, and then the green will make the work for you. If you're lucky enough, that will roll down to the pin and give yourself a hole-in-one. Rookie, you can practice this one on Tour 3, Pro and Expert Tour 8 as well. Preferred clubs here, backbone for Rookie, give yourself the accuracy and the ball guide. Pro and Expert, it's Sniper or the Guardian, which one that makes you most comfortable. Masters is Sniper or the Quarterback, depending on the wind that we will get. Preferred ball for this one is one with wind resistance, because all of the always on the par 3s we do want to have as low wind as possible. Okay, guys, so we're gonna go to hole number 5. This is one of the hardest par 4s, I do feel, especially if we do have some crazy wind for our drive. And again, it all comes down to the wind that we do get. If you're getting tailwind on this one, it shouldn't be a problem to bounce it there in the middle of the fairway over to the end of the fairway to give ourselves a great opportunity to reach this green into. If we are not getting that, we need to go for it, and we need to use the top spin that we have on our driver, which we almost always are using, of course. But in the end, the key is to go there to the end of the fairway as far as possible to give ourselves a great opportunity to reach this green into. I would drop this right away to not think that, oh, this is an eagle I'm going to do all the time. This is definitely not an eagle hole, so we will not see many eagles on this one. But we will see many birdies, but we will also see pars, because for the second shot you do need a club with curl and combined with a few bars of backspin to get this one up to the green. I don't see any problem in putting yourself close to the green and using your wedge to get that birdie. Be aware of going straight at the pin, because then it's uphill and it will most of the time bounce you back down in the rough or in the bunker. So again, you can practice it on Rookie for Tour 3 and Pro and Expert for Tour 8. And I do prefer the big dog here if you're playing in the Rookie division. That is because I do not feel that many of the people that are playing in Rookie have the sniper unlocked in a higher level, because you do need distance. Uh, Pro and Expert, it's sniper for the curl. I do take away the Guardian because I do not feel that the curl is enough most of the time. Guardian level 8 of course would work, but not everybody have Guardian level 8. Masters, the sniper, or the cataclysm, and that all comes down to which type of wind we will get. If we do get tailwind, then it's the sniper all day for me. But if we do get another wind, I will use the cataclysm for the distance and not giving myself a tough drive. Prefer ball, it's side spin and distance, so the best ball for here, I would say a regular Kingmaker in general, not maybe on Rookie, but Pro Expert Masters, then it's a Kingmaker time on this one, because it needs it all. So, my friends, this was hole number 5, so go through to the next one, which is hole number 6. This is a long par 5 as well, and here again it comes down to the drive. If we do miss the drive, we will not be able to reach for the green in 2. And of course, again, depending on the wind that we will get, that's why we have 2 lines. We have a black line, we have a white line. If we do have side wind or headwind, I do suggest you going on the left side of the trees. There, if I take the trees in the middle as a reference point, you go on the left side, using the topspin, trying to bounce your ball so it lands after the trees. If you go too short, you will have a hard time to reach for the green, and you risk going into the water, which of course will yeah, it will not be good. Of course. For the second shot there with a black line, use a good amount of curling it in, using 3-4 bars of backspin depending on the wind that we do have, bouncing it up on the green. Again, this is a hard one to albatross, so you should be happy if you make an eagle. If we do have tailwind, the right side lines up perfectly. Use the wind combined with 4 bars of topspin, bouncing it over the rough, putting ourselves up there on the right side of the fairway. From there, we do have a straight line to the pin, which will give you an albatross opportunity. But if we do have side wind, or we do have headwind, I do not suggest you go on that side, especially not if you're playing on Expert, Pro, or Masters, because we're playing from the second and third tee, which will give us a lot of distance. From front tee, that could be possible if you do have a good driver. You can practice this hole as well on Tour 3 for Rookie, and Pro and Expert it's Tour number 8. 3 more holes to go, so we're gonna go directly to hole number 7, par 3, the last par 3 in the tournament, and also the hardest par 3. You see 2 fairway spots, 2 circles, and I say directly drop it, and don't go that. Maybe if you're playing on the front tee, and then you can bounce it over on the smaller circle. But in general, try to use a club where you can go directly onto the green using the backspin that you have, combined with some curl to curl it in towards the pin. Take the bunker out of play. You don't want to have that. If you want to play with the rough, as I do, many people do, me included sometimes, use the rough on the left side of the bunker using 2-3 bars of topspin and combined with side spin to the right, and you will get that one close to the pin, but it will be a hard par 3 to make an hole-in-one. So don't be sad if you make a birdie. You can practice it on Tour 3 for Rookie, Pro, and Expert Tour 8. The preferred club is Backbone for Rookie, Pro, and Expert. It's the Guardian, because we do want the backspin to go directly on the green. Masters is Guardian or the Rocket, depending on the wind that we will get. Headwind, it's the Rocket. Guardian will come handy if we are having sidewind or tailwind. Prefer ball, wind resistance, and side spin. We do want side spin and especially wind resistance, so the Santa ball will be epic for this one. But as not everybody have a Santa ball, Go with the one that has the most wind resistance and side spin combined. Hole number 8. Hole number 8. And I say donkey, donkey, dunk. I'm going to go for the dunk on this one. I like this hole because you can be aggressive. You don't have anything to be afraid of, actually. I do suggest that before you play this hole, especially if you're going to play this aggressively, change your clubs in your bag, go with a lot of backspin, and that just it's not just for short iron, long iron, and wood club. That goes also for rough iron and sandwich. The reason for that is if you're putting yourself up on the rough, in the rough or in the bunker, you will have a hard time to get it to stop on the green. You do want to backspin to at least give yourself a risk-free birdie. And with a risk-free birdie, I do mean that the fairway just before the green and just before the pin slopes down, which mean that if you hit that one wrong or with too much backspin, it will bounce back in the bunker, and that is not something that you do want. Otherwise, you want, if you want to play it safe, play it again according to the black line, put yourself up straight, go for the dunk if you are comfortable with that with your long iron. Otherwise, put yourself on the green with as much backspin as possible with the club to give yourself an easy birdie. The white line comes in handy if you do want to play it aggressively, then you will find yourself with a short iron or a wedge. I know there is people that will be trying to go for this green directly if we are gonna get tailwind. So, my friends, this was hole number 8 in the tournament, and this can be practiced on tour 3 and also tour 8 if you're playing rookie or pro or expert. Preferred clubs, and I would say just backspin. Choose club according to backspin. Of course, it shouldn't be a level 1 club, but Saturn is the main long iron, Thorn is the main short iron. Of course, if you don't have the Saturn, choose the one with the most backspin of the ones that you do have unlocked. And also for rough iron, I do think the Amazon would be a great addition. Otherwise, you can go with the Machete, which also have a lot of backspin. When it comes to the sandwich, there again, we do have the Houdini there with a lot of backspins. That is a one that you can choose. So, last but not least, we end with a part 5, one of the longest holes in the whole tour play. To get this eagle, we do have to be really good with our long iron, or we do have to have tailwind with our driver. If we don't get tailwind, go overpower, go as long as possible. Put yourself up for your second shot on the according to the white line and go directly to the pin with the dunk, or go in the back of the green using backspin. You need to have a long iron with backspin, and so I do suggest you put out your Saturn if you have that one. Otherwise, go with the backbone or someone else or some club else that you do have some backspin with. Otherwise, for your wood club, you need length, and here you can see I do want to have the big dog if you play from the front tee, and second and third tee it's a big dog or the cataclysm, because if we do get tailwind, we will be able to reach far. Then we do need a long second shot as well. But especially if we get sidewind, which should be, if we are lucky enough, to get over to the fairway on the left side if we do have enough distance on our wood club. That's why I do want to have distance on my wood club. You can practice this one on Tour 3 and also Pro and Expert Tour 8. So Rookie Tour 3 and preferred ball stat is distance. I do feel that the Snow Globe or the Berserker can come in handy on this hole. So this was a quick video, not maybe quick, 20-minute video where we are gonna go through, where we have gone through the text guides for the upcoming tournament called the Touchdown Tournament. Starts on Monday for the qualifier. I'm going to play in all divisions. I'm going to play Rookie, Pro, Expert, and Master. So it will be a stream basically every day. So I hope you will tune in here on the channel or on Twitch to watch me trying to go for 4 golds. Otherwise, any questions, speak up in the comment section below. And again, if you did run to the end of the video without hearing the first part, you can find the link to the text guides in the description text here on this video. My friends, I will wish you the best of luck in the touchdown tournament.